Hey, what's going on everyone? Destroyer here, back with another Rise of the Witch King commentary of patch 2.02. Today we'll be looking at a 2v2 on Udun. So, let's get into it. We have our first player, Destroyer, myself, Isengard. And my partner today is Motoma, as Angmar. And our opponents, we have Ganrel as the Men of the West, and his partner, also the Men of the West, is Special Guest. So, 2v2, two men, an Angmar and an Eisen. Should be interesting, I hope. And I hope you think so as well. So let's see what we're doing here. I'm opening with a couple furnaces. I don't know the plural furnace. Guess furnaces. And Motoma is opening with a Hall of King's Men, as well as some mills. This is actually the proper placement for your farms, like a triangle of like, what is it, 97% or something. That's the ideal way to do it. I never do it the correct way. I'm just retarded. Whatever. I haven't really learned to do proper things yet. And this is an older game. A bit. Not too old, but a little bit older. And, yeah. We got a barracks with some Gondor soldiers coming out from Ganrel and Special Guests. Does he have a barracks? Yes, he does. Nice placement next to his farm, protecting one side of it. That's so you can't actually attack it from that side. Good tactic to do. Little tips and tricks. As you see, Motoma does the same thing with his mill. And as you see, I have not, because I'm a scrub. I'm not saying Ganrel's a scrub, because he didn't do it either, but you know what I mean. I'm sure. But I'll be opening with Wildmen, which I feel is a pretty strong start for Isengard. The Wildmen are pretty cheap. They're only 150, so they're kind of like spam. But the building itself, the how is it called? Clan setting, that is 600, I believe, resources, or 700, 600, I think. So it's quite expensive in comparison to like a barracks. And the first battle is underway. Rallying call and war chant being thrown down on both teams. Gondor soldiers will be the better of the two. They are in shield formation, and they're also in defensive stance, so these orcs will have no chance also being in defensive stance. But there is some orcs in the back of Ganrel's base here, having some Gondor soldiers chasing him around. Although Gondor soldiers much stronger, as you see, they're cutting through them quite nicely there. Even in line formation, they do much more damage than the orcs. And let's go over to my base and see what's happening. Gondor soldiers. Surprising. Surprising? No, not so much. Gondor soldiers definitely stronger than these guys as well. The Wildmen. I almost called them Hillmen. I guess they are Hillmen. But Wildmen Dunlin. And it's going to be difficult for me to actually stop the swordsmen with my Wildmen, as they're not strong enough. Like in a straight up fight, as you see, the soldiers are just slaughtering the Wildmen. And now he's bringing in some archers with some more swordsmen. It's going to be a big problem for me. I have thrown down an Uruk pit though, and I will begin producing crossbows, which will be extremely valuable here. And Motoma's still running around, being chased by these Gondor soldiers into the back. Special guest base there. And there's Golem running his merry way across the field. Hopefully he doesn't get spotted by all these axe throwers. Axe throwers are very good against these. As you see here, doing pretty good damage. Even in shield formation, they still take pretty good damage to axes. Although they are cutting their way through the orcs nonetheless. But they are spam units, so they're expected to be a bit weaker. Now that I have crossbows, it should be a lot more easier for me to deal with. Although I will need the crossbows and the hillman spam to keep coming, or else I will be overwhelmed by Gondor soldiers and archers. And with the rallying call, they're extremely tough to kill, as you see. Those actually having a banner carrier, so they'll begin regenerating, which is a real big nuisance for me. As well as I lost a lot of furnaces, so it's not good either. As I won't have as much command points limit as him, I'm sure. I'm not able to be aggressive. Motoma, he can hold a 450. He has got the war chant. And Special Guest, my opponent directly across from me, has 400 as a top command point, and he has Rally Call. As you saw, I only have 300 command point limit, and I have chosen Vision of the Palantir, which could have crippled myself, as you might imagine. because I don't have my war chant, I can't actually fight them effectively. And Ganrel has chosen that, and he has a 500 point command limit at the moment. I do have 3 battalions of crossbows though now, so I will begin cleaning up my base a bit. Motoma seems to be moving in a bit with their mainly Exor army. He does need to move this guy though. If that Thrallmaster goes down, then that entire battalion dies, which wouldn't be ideal. And it looks like he's beginning to help me a little bit, destroying one of SpecialGue's farms. Although SpecialGue does now have Gondor soldiers, or Gondor knights, I mean. And that will be quite a pain for us, as none of us. I don't have pikemen. Looks like I am rectifying that though. I guess that's one of the benefits of having vision. Only be able to see these. He does have wolf riders now, Motoma does, which is very nice. Motoma's a pretty good player. Played with him a few times. Otherwise known as the Cancer Man on the forums. And yeah, he's doing a good job harassing his opponent and my opponent. And in a 2v2, that's pretty important. If you're able to help your teammate, even if they're being a complete scrub, like myself, then you might be able to win the game because of your partner. Although I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm not great, but I am able to fight back because of the help of my opponent, or my partner, I mean. It's pretty important. And I have a lot of crossbows here, putting my guys in porcupine formation so they can't trample them. And if they try, they will get slowed down a lot, and they'll just be picked off. Looks like I do have war chant now. Possibly, no, that was my war chant. As you see, I do have that there. So I'm the first to get a second power, I guess. Not that anyone else can't get a 5 power point. They're saving up for a 10, as they don't need their second 5. And yeah, I have lots of crossbows, but I do need more pikes here, or else I'm going to pay for it. Hopefully I'm building more. I am. Okay, Wildman as well. Looks like some Axlors being chased out of here. Is that a Boromir? That is indeed. Boromir has entered the battle. Oh, man. Would you love me a Boromir? Yeah, these Wolf Riders being a real pain. Special guest. Look at that, just killing lots of Gondor archers, wounding many as well. There's just a single Thrallmaster here in defensive stance, just killing these weakened Gondor archers. It's just kind of funny, but he will be killed. And now my force is looking a bit more fearsome now that I've had a chance to recuperate a bit, thanks to my partner. And he's doing quite well against his opponents. He does have the Black Numenorians, which are the strongest swordsmen in the game in patch 2.02. As well as backup with this Rudar oh no, they aren't his spearmen actually. Those are Rohan spearmen. Thought they were Rudar spearmen. Nope. And Boromir as well now has the Horn of Gondor as well. So he'll be able to use that. And yeah, the crossbows with the pikes is pretty good strat. It's quite effective. Although it helps when you have more troops. But the Hillmen I have Hillmen to fill out my army, which is pretty nice. And if I upgrade them with torches, they actually do more damage, which is useful for killing structures. Trying to position my pikemen correctly, otherwise I'm going to lose a lot of archers here. Throwing them down in porcupine formation. Trying my best not to get them all trampled. It looks like I actually managed to get them trampled anyway. But I do manage to pick off these Gondor soldiers, or knights at least. And I still have a fair amount of crossbows left. Doesn't look like it killed too many, so that's not too bad. Yeah, Motoma's just going around his base. He's unable to catch up and like do enough damage. Boromir desperately trying to get over there. And now I do have torch upgrades on my Wildman now, so that is always nice to have. Setting guys aflame as well. Let's take a look at my base real quick. I do have some lumber mills, a bunch of furnaces, a couple of Uruk pits, and a clan steading. Motoma has a troll and wolf den. It's not upgraded to level 2 yet. He just needed it so he can get wolf riders out of his spam guys, whatever they're called, Thrallmasters. So the war chant going down there, hitting all those guys. And we do have Morgul for Motoma. Morgul is a very good hero. Definitely one of the top two you want to get, either him or Waldar. I think Morgul can be stronger at times, and his ruin ability is extremely strong against structures. Which is really nice. Looks like the barracks over here went down. So I did manage to take a barracks here. Also guys in the back of the base, as well as all around really. And my partner's still supporting me with his wolf riders, which is excellent. Killing off these archers quite nicely. Doesn't look like I'm going to have enough troops to actually finish off this archery range though. And as you see, the Hillmen with the torch upgrade actually do a good amount of damage. Possibly I'll be able to get him out of there. That is a level 5 battalion of Hillmen. Would be nice if they regenerated. And it looks like I do have some pikemen in the back as well. So I'll begin harassing his back of his farms. And Morgul will be leading the charge against this farm here. With some Gondor soldiers and Boromir. Felwyn being used. Throwing him around. Zoom in real close. You see Boromir's pimples. Oh, he doesn't have pimples. He's not in puberty anymore. There's Morgul. Is he killing Boromir? He is actually killing Boromir. Using his horn before going down. Oh, it's going to be close. Unfortunately, all his troops are frozen. I think Morgul is actually faster than Boromir, so Morgul will kill him. Unfortunate loss for Ganrel, as Boromir is quite useful. I do have alerts now, so that's nice to have. Always nice to have alerts as Angmar, or Isengard. It'd be nice to have alerts as Isengard, or Angmar as well. But hey. Summon hobbits being thrown out. Using the Vile Galadriel, causing him to use to flee. I've noticed sometimes that doesn't actually work. But, I'm not sure. Let's take a look at the powers. We have Summon Orcs, Frozen Land, and there's actually still a wall up there. Fell Wind as well. For Motoma there, Angmar player. We have Summon Hobbits from special guest, the men right there. Looks like I got Industry. That's always nice to have. So my economy will be keeping up. So I can keep troop production going. And Ganrel has rebuild because he is facing lots of attacks. I guess he's definitely going to need that. Looks like he'll be pushing out even though Motoma has a giant army behind him. I'm not sure he knows about it. Because I don't think he can see it. No, he cannot. So that'll be a surprise.
Come, peasants, we must rise up and fight.
And let's go back to observing all. There we go. There's a lot of arrow towers on this thing, on this fortress, so that'll be a bit harder to take down. I may need a siege weapon or something. Looks like I'm actually throwing out a siege works, and I do have berserkers now, as well as keeping the pikemen coming. Starting to get warg riders. Not quite yet, but the warg pit or whatever it's called. It is actually called a warg pit. Go figure. And now Ganrel's actually attacking Motoma's base. And a pretty sizable force of Gondor soldiers. Motoma may lose a few structures. And he's definitely going to lose his Hall of the King's Men here. Which is unfortunate because it is level 2. And those aren't cheap. Looks like the men's base is doing alright so far. Motoma will lose his structure as he doesn't have the forces necessary. But with him here, Morgul, the Dread Visage will significantly reduce armor and damage of the enemy. So, with a few buffed Black Numenorians, he should be able to clean up this after a bit. And we have the Witch King now. Oh god. That's not good. Witch King actually very strong. If you throw everyone into one spot with the Witch King and he does his AoE splash damage, that could potentially kill an entire army in one hit. Just about, at least. Seems Gondor Knights trying to trample my guys here. I do have a battering ram now. Potentially could do a lot of damage here, although it doesn't look like I have anything to back it up. And my alerts is level 3, so he does have Carnage. I have a second battering ram. If I can actually protect these battering rams, they should be able to take down the fort. And it doesn't seem that Special Guest has enough troops to stop me. Hopefully I don't wait too long. But my opponent, or my partner, is definitely doing just fine. Also sending the Witch King over to help me, as he doesn't really need him over there. And the Witch King will prove quite the useful ally, as he will just slaughter these swordsmen. Look at that. Sick. He's like a mini Mouth of Sauron. Or not, mini Sauron, not Mouth of Sauron. He's actually better than Mouth of Sauron. And yeah, I have 2 battering rams about to approach the fort here. It's not looking good for the men. Special guest here. Also have some Berserker here. Slaughtering these troops as they come out. Massive amount of damage. And yeah, special guest is definitely going to lose his fort here. No way, no how is he going to be able to save it. The Watcher being thrown down under the under knights. Not a chance. And yeah, it seems this is probably going to be the end for a special guest here. It's like Umer, I didn't even know he was in the game. He has been thrown off his horse, and special guest has been defeated here. Yeah, that is that. And that is actually my Watcher, of course. I was wondering who that was, but I'm probably the only team who can actually have that. And now it is 2-on-1. So we will begin working together to conquer Ganrel, the last remaining man of the north. Morgul is level 6 here. He's used his Morgul blade, which will make a white out of someone. Morgul is still alive here though. Leading the defense of the men. And actually forcing Morgul to retreat here. But running right into the middle of tons of orcs and war chanting. Witch King wailing on him as he runs by. But things are not looking good for Ganrel. I got Wolf Riders coming. And my battering rams are on the way. As well as my army. Which is definitely not to be sneered at. And these two armies together, there is no way, no how the men could stop this. How can you stop such reckless hate? The answer is you can't. Because that's too much. And actually chasing the builders around. Making sure they don't get away. Witch King's actually pretty low on health there. And the builder's throwing the water down in challenge to the Witch King. But he will have none of it, as they are quickly dispatched. And it'll be very quickly here. The fortress will go down, especially with the battering rams on it. And we'll just have to kill these last 2 buildings, and then we'll win the game. Oh yes. 1 and a 2. And there you go. Ganrel has been defeated. And me and Motoma have been victorious. So, well played to my partner for sure. He definitely helped me out there. Like I said, 2v2s are important. Teamwork is important. And yeah, always help your partner. If he dies, you basically die. So, don't let your partner die. Yeah. Well played to everyone in that match. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will see you in the next game of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.02. See you next time.